What was your best moment from this season?
My best moment from this season, well...
Be careful.
Be careful. Well, definitely, I think the victory, that's always something special. I mean, I've had a lot of good moments, but a victory is a victory, and I think even when it's the most boring race on earth, if you win the race, it's still special.
Agree.
At the start of the season, some media thought the team would struggle this year. Where do you honestly think you would finish in the championship?
I didn't expect to finish top 5. I mean, you know what it's like. You do the best you can, and if the car is good enough, obviously you can do better than. Just because you say I don't think I can get 5th doesn't mean you're not going to get 5th if you can. But there was no real signs that we would be this much better this year. So I thought top 5 would be a stretch.
All right.
Yep. Now, contrary, what was your worst moment of this season?
Monaco. Absolutely Monaco. I think everybody agrees on that one.
Do you like the track though? After all, the worst weekend of your
2
year?
weekends. The worst 2 weekends, both years.
Yeah. Do you enjoy the track though?
It's something special for sure. I mean, it's very challenging, I think, especially in qualifying. When you have done your lap, you're like, wow, that was really on the edge in qualifying.
Yeah.
Or in my case, over.
All right. Gotcha.
All right, Daniel. Looking back at the whole season, what was your best moment and why?
Fortunately,
Monaco for you?
I think the Saturday. Saturday.
Right.
Fortunately, like yourself, we've had some pretty good highs this year. One thing I hadn't yet done was a pole. So to do that in Monaco made it probably more special to get my first pole there. So that was a big highlight. And then, of course, as you said, the win in Malaysia, being on the top step again felt good. So I'm going to be greedy and say 2 moments.
What was your worst moment from this season?
Probably everyone's expecting me to say Monaco, but it wasn't my personal worst moment. I think it was the worst moment probably for us as a team. But like I felt that day I did everything right. So it actually wasn't my worst moment, but sure, it was the worst moment of the season. If I was to say my worst moment, just all good moments.
Confident. Yeah, I mean, for sure.
I don't know. I guess the answer everyone's looking for is Monaco. So, but again, it was
out of your hands, basically.
Yeah. So it was still like a great weekend, I felt personally, but obviously the outcome was tough. So yeah, it was the first time I've ever not attended a post-race debrief. I'm normally very good with that, but I just felt it was best to. And because my house was like 500 meters away,
you
I was
were like, let's
go home and not talk to anyone for a little while.
I can imagine.
Alrighty. A lot of people said the team was wrong to replace Kvyat with yourself, and the media said they were very surprised. What did you think about the reaction at the time? Did you understand their point of view? Were you thinking, all right, I'm going to prove them wrong? What was your sort of feelings?
I mean, it's always a very difficult decision, and I mean, I could place myself also in his way, I would say, and it's very hard, it's very difficult, but that's the way Red Bull works sometimes, and they, I guess, are looking also for the future. When you get that opportunity, you just can't, you can't wait to go for it. And I just approached the weekend very neutral. I didn't care about all the comments, the media was saying about the move. It was now up to me to prove them wrong. And yeah, and in one way it was a very relaxed weekend as well, because it took a lot of pressure off, because I approached it as a learning weekend. And I think so far it has been going pretty well from there onwards.
I remember it was probably the most watched press conference of the year with you and Danny sitting in the front row. Everyone was waiting. Yeah, it's funny how they position the press conferences sometimes. So everyone was like waiting. Who's going to hit who?
Yeah, I was prepared. I was just sitting there.
But as you said though, like from the outside, it's not that you called Helmut and said, Helmut, get rid of Danny, put me in. It's just how it works. And obviously, if you get that opportunity, it's our job. You can't turn it down, and you can't be sympathetic to a competitor, because this is the sport we're in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, so then I guess to follow up, when you won in Barcelona, was any of your happiness actually relief to have proven Red Bull was right to back you?
It is something, you know, what helps a lot, I think, a victory. It's not everything, because, I mean, you have to prove yourself over a whole season and then again and again. But it's something, you know, you come into a new team and then you win the race. It's like, okay, well, at least it's a very good start instead of a struggling start, you know. So not only, I think, just a relief to prove Red Bull, but also for myself, you know, because it was always like a target to win a race. And then once you win a race, you're like, wow, you know, that's something very amazing. And it takes a lot of pressure away because you've achieved something already like that. And then, you know, you prove that you can win a race, because, I mean, before that you can drive fast laps, you can have good races, but you have never won a race before.
Yeah, I can definitely agree that it's the same when I won in Canada. It's, you believe you can do it and you think you can do it, but until you cross the line in first with all that pressure and on the world stage, so to speak,
yeah,
then it's like,
yeah, it's a nice feeling.
Okay, I can do it. You know? So
yeah, it's good.
I feel you.
After I joined, media asked you about increased pressure, and your reply was always very professional. But was there a time when you did feel any?
I think there's always pressure, to be honest. When there's, in general, within this sport, there's always pressure, because, as you sort of touched on, you know, you won in Barcelona, but it's a whole season, and sometimes you're only as good as your last race.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess when you've got a new teammate, you know, your teammate is the only guy you can properly reference yourself from, as you know. But, you know, it's the guy in equal equipment. So at the end of the day, if your teammate beats you every race in the year, then, you know, you could be coming second every race. But if your teammate's winning every race, then you've had a terrible year. So there's always pressure. You know, at the time I was getting the best of Danny. My performances were generally better than his. So that was going well, let's say, on that front. But then obviously you've stepped in and it's like, it's another challenge. And it's like, well, I obviously knew you were quick, but it's like, how quick? And then how's he going to deal with everything else? So I guess there's pressure on both of us, I guess, but yeah, me to obviously make sure I keep delivering, and don't, you know, get out qualified by half a second every weekend, because then it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, well, luckily that's not the case.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun. What sort of teammate am I? These are awkward questions.
You're such a lovely, caring, beautiful, beautiful teammate.
Such a beautiful boy.
Yeah. We have to do that again, or you think that's all right? Yeah. What kind of a teammate am I? Be nice.
Yeah, I joke a lot about.
Otherwise, I don't give you any
young.
chocolates anymore.
What kind of teammate? I would say, like, a lot of interviews I've done, I get asked about you a lot. So
by Dutch people mainly?
I think generally.
Okay.
Generally, but yeah, I get asked a lot about your age, and it's like, what I say is that, sure, you're young compared to a lot of us, most of us, or younger, but you're, in racing terms, I feel you're quite old or quite experienced. Let's say it feels like you've, I guess, maybe through your father a bit as well, but. I guess through karting at the top level and that you learnt quite a lot at a young age, but it seems like like me at 18, for example, I wasn't used to the environment of Formula One, or it didn't really feel natural yet at that age, where it seems like you're a bit more accustomed to it, and even like communicating with the team, and that it feels probably more natural at your age than it would have for a lot of us. So yeah, young in age, but not so young in terms of motorsport experience and the motorsport world.